Welcome, my friend. I'm so incredibly glad you decided to join us today for this explainer. If you're over the age of 60, there is a very good chance you've been told that walking is the absolute best thing you can do for your body. And honestly, for a long time, we really believed that walking was the only exercise you truly needed to age gracefully. But today, we are going to unpack a fascinating concept together that might completely change how you view your daily routine, and more importantly, how you feel in your own body. We're going to talk about a single, highly safe, everyday movement that science is now pointing to as the literal missing piece to the aging puzzle. It's the secret to rebuilding your strength, protecting your joints, and keeping your freedom intact. So let's take a nice deep breath, get comfortable, and dive right into what this missing piece actually is and exactly how it works.
So let's start with a really honest question. Is walking the perfect exercise? Think about your own life for a moment. Do your legs ever feel surprisingly weak when you try to get up out of a deep, comfortable sofa, even though you might be out there taking your daily walks? Or maybe you've noticed that your balance feels just a little bit shaky when you're reaching for something on a high shelf or stepping off a curb. If you are nodding your head right now, I want you to know something very important. You are absolutely not alone. In fact, millions of perfectly active, health-conscious people walk every single day, yet they still, quietly, privately, struggle with this slow creeping of muscle loss and daily fatigue. It can be incredibly frustrating, can it? But here is the good news. There is a very clear, scientifically proven reason for why this happens. And I promise you, it has absolutely nothing to do with you not trying hard enough.
To really understand why walking isn't quite enough on its own, we need to compare what walking actually does versus what our daily lives demand of us. You see, walking is what we call a forward motion activity. When you walk, at any given moment, you are only supporting a tiny fraction of your total body weight. It's almost like a gentle, rolling momentum. Now, don't get me wrong, that forward motion is absolutely fantastic for your heart and your lungs. But I want you to compare that gentle rolling momentum to the heavy demands of your everyday life. Think about getting out of bed in the morning, or standing up from a low chair in a restaurant, or getting up off the floor after playing with a grandchild. Those real-life movements require you to lift your entire full body weight straight up directly against the pull of gravity. And the truth is, simply putting one foot in front of the other during a walk just doesn't prepare your leg muscles for that kind of heavy lifting.
And this brings us to a medical term you might have heard floating around: sarcopenia. Now, sarcopenia is just the fancy biological term for age-related muscle loss. I want to pause here because it's so important that you hear this. Losing muscle as we age is not a personal failure. It's not because you did something wrong. It is simply natural human biology. It's just the way we're wired. Right around the time we hit 60, our bodies begin to lose muscle tissue faster than we can naturally rebuild it. It's a bit like a bank account where the withdrawals suddenly start outpacing the deposits. This happens unless, and this is a very big unless we give our muscles a specific, targeted, challenging signal to stay strong. Without that direct signal, our muscle fibers just slowly, quietly shrink away. But the beautiful part of this story is that we can easily, safely slow down this entire process.
When we're younger, in our 20s and 30s, we almost always think about muscle purely in terms of cosmetics. We think about looking fit in a bathing suit or filling out a t-shirt. But as we move into our golden years, we have to embrace a much deeper, more fundamental truth. And that truth is this: muscle is life. It literally is. Think of your muscle mass as your body's ultimate built-in suit of armor. Your leg and core muscles act exactly like thick, protective shock absorbers for your delicate joints, especially your knees and your hips. Having healthy muscle keeps your blood sugar stable. It actively supports and protects your fragile bones. And perhaps most importantly, it gives you the physical reaction time to catch yourself safely if you happen to trip over a rug. Building just a little bit of extra muscle is quite literally the single most effective, powerful way to protect your aging body from harm. We tend to spend so much time worrying about the number on the scale, or tracking exactly how many steps we've taken on our smartwatches. But when you look at the science of aging, the absolute truest predictor of your future independence isn't your weight or your daily step count. It is simply your leg strength. Specifically, scientists look at one crucial metric: how safely, how quickly, and how smoothly you can move your body from a sitting position to a standing position. Think about it. If you cannot safely stand up on your own from a chair, a sofa, or a toilet, your freedom becomes severely compromised. You have to rely on someone else to help you move through your own home. Your daily independence, your ability to live life on your own terms, is entirely tied to the hidden strength residing in your legs.
Which brings us perfectly to the most exciting and important part of our entire conversation today. We're going to introduce you to the absolute #1 exercise that builds this vital, life-saving leg strength. And the best part? It is completely free, requires absolutely zero expensive gym equipment, and you can start doing it today, in the comfort of your own living room.
This magic movement is the humble, deeply powerful chair squat. Now you might be thinking, a squat? Really? But listen to why the chair squat transforms the aging body so remarkably. Every single time you purposely stand up from a chair, you are lifting your complete, full body weight directly up against the invisible force of gravity. By doing this, you are instantly activating the largest, most metabolically important muscle groups in your entire body. We are talking about your thighs, your hips, your glutes, and your deep core muscles. These are the exact specific muscles you rely on every single day to climb a flight of stairs safely, to carry heavy bags of groceries into the house, and to walk without shuffling. And because you are moving up and down without holding on to anything, the chair squat is gently and safely challenging your body's balance systems all at the same time. It's truly a miracle movement.
So, how do we do this safely right there in your own home? Let's walk through it very carefully together. First, find a sturdy, firm chair, like a dining room chair, not a squishy armchair. Sit right on the front edge of the seat so your feet are completely flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Now, keep your chest nice and tall, proud, like you're wearing a medal. When you're ready, press down firmly through your heels into the floor and push yourself up to a standing position. Once you are standing, stand perfectly tall, but be careful not to lock your knees backward. Keep them just a little bit soft. Now comes the most important part. Slowly, and I mean very carefully, lower yourself back down. Do not just drop or plop into the seat. Imagine you are placing yourself gently onto an eggshell without breaking it. You are not falling. You are in total, complete control of the descent.
Now, let's look at what is happening inside you when you do this. It is truly fascinating. When you challenge your major leg muscles this way, they release incredibly powerful little chemical messengers directly into your bloodstream. These little workers are called myokines. I want you to think of myokines as your body's own natural, homemade medicine. The moment you push up out of that chair, these myokines flood your system. As they travel through your bloodstream, they actively work to reduce painful joint inflammation. They improve your body's insulin sensitivity, which helps manage and balance your blood sugar levels. They even cross over into your brain to support your memory and cognitive health, all while strengthening the walls of your cardiovascular system. Just the simple act of lifting your own body weight out of a chair triggers a massive healing release of these wonderful myokines. Beyond the biology, this exercise also works wonders on our mental resilience. As we get older, many of us quietly enter what we call the cycle of fear regarding falling. It's a very real, very valid fear. We become afraid of losing our balance, so we start to move a little bit less. Because we move less, our legs get weaker. And because our legs get weaker, our risk of actually having a bad fall dramatically increases. It's a vicious circle. But practicing the chair squat deliberately breaks the cycle. Having a sturdy, safe chair positioned right beneath you creates a beautiful cycle of confidence. You are actively training your nervous system in an environment where you know you are safe. Day by day, as you practice sitting and standing, you are literally melting away that background anxiety and replacing it with rock-solid physical confidence in your own 2 feet.
Now, you might be wondering exactly how many of these you should be doing. The wonderful thing is that we can meet your body exactly where it is today. Let's look at a simple roadmap. If you have been mostly inactive lately, please be gentle with yourself. Your goal is incredibly simple. Aim for just 3 to 4 repetitions in a row, focusing entirely on good, safe form without any pain. If you are already moderately active, maybe you walk a bit or garden, try to aim for 5 to 10 repetitions once a day. And if you feel advanced and really want a challenge, you can slow the whole movement down. Try taking 3 full seconds, counting 1, 2, 3, just to lower yourself back down into the chair. Remember, consistency. Just doing a tiny amount with excellent, mindful form beats pushing yourself too hard every single time. Listen to your body, it knows what to do.
To make this movement even safer and more effective, we need to talk about proper breathing. It sounds simple, but it's an absolute game changer. Here's the trick. As you push through your heels to stand up, gently blow the air out through your mouth. Imagine you are steadily blowing out a candle on a birthday cake, pushing up, blowing out. Then, as you slowly lower yourself back down to the chair, take a nice, deep, relaxing breath in through your nose. This incredibly simple breathing pattern does something quite magical. It acts like an invisible, internal corset that tightly hugs and protects your spine. It automatically engages your deep abdominal core muscles, and it ensures that your blood pressure remains perfectly steady and safe during the entire exertion. Breathe out to stand up, breathe in to sit down.
If there is one thing I really want you to take away from this, it's that your absolute greatest superpower is consistency. You don't need to spend an hour sweating in a gym.
You only need about 5 minutes a day. The real trick to making this work is to weave it seamlessly into the normal, everyday routines you already have. For example, you could do a few slow, controlled chair squats while resting your hands on the kitchen counter as you wait for the morning kettle to boil. Or, my personal favorite, you can simply stand up and sit down a few extra times during the commercial breaks of your favorite evening television show. When you attach this tiny 5-minute movement to a daily habit you are already doing, it becomes completely effortless. It just becomes a normal part of your day, like brushing your teeth.
Now, just to be perfectly clear, please do not abandon your daily walk. Walking is a glorious activity. I want you to think of your walking routine as beautiful, necessary, soothing nourishment for your heart, your lungs, and your mood. It's essential. But I want you to view the chair squat as the structural nourishment that is absolutely required for your muscles and your bones. The magic truly happens when you put them together. When you combine your lovely regular daily walks with just a few minutes of controlled, thoughtful chair squats, you are creating a beautifully balanced, incredibly complete, and highly joyful approach to aging. It's the perfect harmony of heart health and physical independence.
I want to leave you with a thought that I hope brings you immense comfort. No matter your current age, no matter how many years have passed, or what your history of inactivity might be, your body is not broken. It is a highly intelligent, brilliantly adaptive system. And right now, it is simply waiting for you to give it the right signal to rebuild. The chair squat is exactly that perfect signal. When you perform this movement, you are literally speaking to your nervous system, saying, "Hello down there, I still need my strength, I still have life to live." And your amazingly capable, resilient body will eagerly answer that call, repairing and rebuilding itself fiber by microscopic fiber, day by day.
So, my friend, I have a small, gentle invitation for you. Will you take just 5 minutes today, maybe right after this explainer comes to a close, to go find a sturdy chair, plant your feet, and carefully, safely stand up a few extra times? You don't have to be perfect, you just have to try. Celebrate those small victories. Because I promise you, if you wake up tomorrow feeling even just a tiny bit steadier on your feet, that is a massive, life-altering win. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I want you to stay safe, stay strong, keep moving, and I so look forward to exploring many more wonderful ways to age with vibrant health and independence with you in the future.